Yo, what's going on, guys? It's your boy The One, back with more Tokyo Ghoul Break the Chains content. And this video I'll be giving you guys the updated tier list. Let's get it.
Welcome to the pinnacle of Gacha gaming on YouTube.
So as you guys can see, there is a pretty much major stark difference from my tier list last month when the game first released in its first week compared to now, as I have used pretty much every single character in the game. You guys know the only problem with this is Ammon isn't here, but I'll just tell you guys right off the bat where I would put Ammon. But yeah, so before we get into that, we'll just look at we'll start at I think we'll start mainly on the top half. If there's any notable units, let me just see. Oh yeah, Juzo. So Juzo is a unit that we had, that's a new unit that we didn't have when the game first came out. So Juzo. So the thing with Juzo is he obviously applies his death mark on units, reducing damage by 20% every time he hits a target. You know, he's a good unit. I'll say this. He's a good unit, but he's not just off damage. Like, you're gonna want to pair him off with other good, green units to be able to perfectly counter the blue speed meta. Jugo's decent, but his impact and his viability isn't that great. Like, I don't really use Juzo like that. Like, there's not many instances where you're gonna want to use him, but he is solid. Once you have a good team set up around him, he's pretty decent. I wouldn't say he's top tier, but if you have a good enough team, then he's gonna do decent. So I put him in tier 2 here, just because I don't think he's not bad, and he's not game breaking either. So that's why he's not in tier 0 or tier 1. But right in tier 2 seems just about right. Akira, I bumped her up a bit. I think I put her way too low last time. Bumped her up a bit. She's pretty good. Hinami is the only solid healer in the game that we have right now. Obviously able to cleanse debuffs, able to heal. She's a DPS healer, if that makes sense. Then we also got Iwao and I can't remember the other dude's name. Iwao and Shinohara. They're solid green units. Like, we don't have a lot of good green units. We only have like 2 or 3 good green units. So, but like right now in the game, it's rampant blue speed meta. But I feel like we're just lacking 1 or 2 more really strong green or attribute units to really change and shift the meta, because right now in the game it's all blue speed meta. Like, it's just the same thing everywhere. So like that's probably my one big gripe with the game right now. There's not much diversity when it comes to team building, especially if it's PvP or other modes. So like it's everyone's using the same standard team really. But yeah, the 2 of them are solid. If you need to build them up to like a high level for them to properly counter the blue team, because the blue team is just stupidly busted. So like, they're decent, they'll do decent, but they're not good enough to properly stop the blue speed meta, unless, like I said, you have these 2 built up to insane amounts. Obviously one's a tank, one's a DPS. So yeah. Who else? Akira, I think his name's Akira Mado, the old dude right here in between Juzo and Shinohara. He's a really solid backline unit. backline units, I don't know if you guys noticed, but I put all the backline units that are really solid, I put them in tier 2 or above, just because backline units can be game changing. That's why you can see I have him, and I also have what's the dude's name? I also have Naki in tier 2. Both of them are really solid. Not as good as the other two, which we'll talk about now. So Yomo, I have Yomo in tier 1. He is the best backline unit in the game, in my opinion. Him and then Toka slightly behind him in viability from the backline, but Yomo, my Yomo is level 100, fully built, got all his limit levels, as they're all really good. But Yomo, in my opinion, the best universal backline unit you can have in the game. And Toka is also pretty solid. The reason why I say that they're around the same level ish is because they're both backline units. However, Yomo is better as a backline unit, but Toka's decent as a backline unit, but she's also like a decent debuffer as well. So when she does come into battle, she is better than Yomo. Like in battle, Yomo isn't as good as Toka, but in backline, Yomo is better than Toka. So you know, it's kind of yin and yang situation we have going on there. Then here we have Owl in tier 1. Now Owl, I think I did a Owl guide I think it was like a week ago, about 5-6 days ago. I did an Owl guide. You guys saw him. He's a tank demon, a tank DPS demon. He is really good. I think I put him in tier 2 or tier 3 in my last tier list. What a mistake that was. He has some of the highest damage numbers in the entire game. He is a monster, right? He's a monster, and he's really hard to kill. If you have him built up enough to a decent level, he is really hard to kill in PvP, and he does insane damage numbers, like I said earlier. So he is the best green DPS unit we have in the game right now. Juzo isn't that at that level, unfortunately, but Juzo's just not a DPS unit. He's more of a supportive role. But yeah. So yeah, next we have we spoke about Toka. Next we have let's talk about Arima real quick. So Arima, I can't remember where I put him, but we have him in tier 1. He is pretty good. If you build him correctly, he's good. Obviously, he gets the additional attack whenever you do a single target attack, so, and his damage does stack. That would stack over time. Obviously, if you have it, like I did a team building guide, so if you build your team correctly and you're using Arima and you're able to get the best out of him, he'll be doing so much damage, accumulating so much damage, especially from the additional attacks, like I said, and him being able to boost his attack. He's a really solid DPS unit, and everyone's using him in PvP. Next we have Shu Tsukiyama. He's a really solid tank, and the difference with him is some of you guys asked me to make a guide video or build video for him. I will work on that, but the difference with Shu compared to a majority of the other tanks is that his shields that he puts up are basically based off his attack, right? So the shields he's gonna provoke, he's gonna do that stuff, but his shields are based off his attack. So you're gonna want to build him with obviously a HP substat with main attack. So you're gonna want to build him with attack self factors and have maybe a few HP self factors. So preferably maybe a 9-to-3 ratio, 9 attack, 3 HP ratio. But we're not going to talk about the build for him, but basically his shields that he puts up are based off his attack. So he's going to be a really nice tank, the best tank in the game right now, in my opinion. Next we're going to Ayato. Ayato's tier 1. I was debating whether to put him in tier 0 or tier 1. I decided to put him tier 1 because he's not game busted broken. So that's why we have him there in tier 1. And the reason I have him tier 1 is because obviously he has I can't remember the name of the ability. Let me check in game right now. But what he can do is he ignores defense. Yeah, he has Impale. That's the name of it, Impale. And he's basically able to do damage to all enemies, ignoring defense. And his passive, he's also able to at the start of every turn do damage equal to 100% of attack, and apply lethal, right? And what lethal does is it makes the enemies unable to trigger any healing effects. So he's pretty good for bosses, pretty good in a exploration, pretty good in pretty much all modes of the game. Ayato is going to be a really good unit. So that's why I have him there in tier 1. As he's universal, he's good everywhere, all around the board. Next we got the tier 0. Now you might see a difference here in the tier 0. Oops, before we go into tier 0, my bad. What's his name? Ammon. Do Blade Ammon. Where will I put Ammon? Now the thing with Ammon is he's really solid if you have the right team. He's really good, does good damage. I wouldn't put him in tier 0, definitely. He's not that game breaking. Honestly, I probably put Ammon around the same level as an Arima. So I'd be putting Ammon, the new Ammon, Kura Ammon, in tier 1. I'd be putting Ammon in tier 1 in my opinion. I feel like he does good damage. If you able to build the right team around him, he crits a lot. He's pretty much every time he attacks, he's guaranteed to crit. So if you obviously run a Uta, run a Rize, run a Kaneki with him, and you know, like he's gonna be hitting insane damages. Like I have him hitting like around 300k, 350k ish. My Ammon, that's what he hits for. But obviously I have the perfect build for a perfect team setup for him as well, so bear that in mind. So I'd be putting Ammon in tier 1. He's not game breaking, but he's tier 1, and by tier 1 I put him in the mid to low end of tier 1. As you know, I just say low to mid tier of tier 1 around Arima. That's the best description I can say. Like in character usage and character wise, he's around Arima level in my opinion. Moving on, so tier 0, like I was saying, you guys have probably noticed a bit of a difference. Rize is the new addition I have here in tier 0. Man, I have a maxed out Rize, and I see Rize and how much damage she does. She is a monster. I have hit for like 400k, 450k damage with Rize. I have had insane damage numbers with Rize. She is a monster, and the best thing about her is when she does her attack. I think it's when she does her let me check real quick. I have the game open. I think it's when she does her skill 3, but she also has the ability where she has invincibility. Let's see, where's the passive? She has a passive here. Aha, it's her power burst enhancement. So basically her limit level 9. So it basically says gaining power burst grants 1 charge of immunity against attack skills for 1 turn. So pretty much she is immune to attacks, right? And if you have more, it depends how many power bursts you have. This shit does actually stack, because I remember in PvP I fought someone, they had multiple charges, multiple power bursts. I attacked twice, both attacks missed and did 0 damage because she had that attack immunity. So she is literally immortal whenever she gets her power burst off. So like that, on top of her insane crit damage and crit rate if you build her right, and the ultra death deal, and she does even more damage the less HP the unit has, your enemy has. And if you have the right setup, which is you attack with Kaneki applies weakness, also reducing HP, then you attack with Rize 9 times out of 10 is killing off that unit. If your Kaneki is well built and your Rize is well built, like Rize literally is a finisher. She finishes people in PvP, in PvE, and she's insane for bosses. Like she is insane for bosses, especially for like the Yamari raid. She's really good. Easily the best DPS in the game alongside Kaneki, in my opinion. Next we have Uta. We already spoke about Uta universally. He boosts all their stats. He skills up your cards. He increases damage. You know, like he's just good. He's just a great unit, man. He's just a great unit. Best unit in the game, in my opinion. If there was a ranking system, Uta would definitely be the number one in that category. But like, I don't have them all like organized in terms of who's the best. I just put them in their position. But Uta is definitely the best unit in the game. So next we have Kaneki. Kaneki, he applies weakness. And what weakness does is when you have enough weakness stacked, a character is stunned and they can't attack or move or do anything. And it's also really great for bosses, really good in PvP, really good in PvE. It's just insane, really good. Does insane damage. If you build him a crit rate, crit damage, he does insane. Sorry, not even that, but if you give him good attack, good crit rate, gear, then he's gonna do insane damage. Yeah, that's what I wanted to say. If you want to build Kaneki with a crit rate and attack, that's how you want to build him. But yeah, if you build him correctly, he does insane. Like, just 3 of his skills are able to like wipe a whole bar of Yamari raid on like the maximum difficulty. Like, he is a god, right? And then obviously we also got this chick, what's her name, Itori. Now what Itori does is so basically she increases the basic stats of all characters for 3 turns, and makes so it's kind of similar to Uta in that aspect, but I don't think she doesn't get the card skill up, unfortunately. But she does also, what she does what she does different instead of that is that she's able to make your units immune to all debuffs. Like, so that's really nice. And she also has passively when she activates skills, she makes all your units immune to weak, increase, and she passively boosts the strength of all. She basically increases all strength characters all strength characters basic stats by 10% passively. So you're gonna want to use Itori in a full strength team. So if you had to build a full strength team, you want Itori, obviously, then Toka, then Shu, Tsukiyama, Uta. So probably Uta, Itori, Kaneki, Toka, something like that. But yeah, but you definitely do need Uta in all your teams. But she's a really nice support for the strength team or red team, however you call it. But yeah, she's a really good unit. Being able to be immune to all debuffs is insane. So yeah, she's an insane support unit. For the strength archetype, strength attribute type, we still need a really good one for or great guard support for the green types. But like I said earlier, we don't have one yet. Juzo's some offensive support, but we need a main support core that is able to increase all stats, potentially give skill up to cards. But I doubt it, because they want to potentially make Uta that one good GOAT, like greatest of all units. But yeah, that's pretty much the tier list. Any other thing I want to say? Obviously Jason, I have him down here. However, he is decent. He's not that bad, but I put him down here because I just don't feel like he's as useful as the other units. The only thing he does have is a stun, but besides that, you're not gonna really want to use him. Like, there's better strength units out there entirely. But besides that, he's probably the only unit I might bump up to tier 2, but I just keep him there. So yeah, that's pretty much my tier list. I do have a more knowledgeable take on the game. I have used every single unit in the game, tested every single unit, know what every single unit does. Obviously I forget, so I had to pop into the game to check. But my point is, I now have a better understanding on the game, so I was able to improve the tier list, and this is way more accurate than the last one. The last one was more of a trial thing, but I've used a unit maybe once or twice, not knowing what every single unit does, or play tested them, seeing what the community has to say. But yeah, this is most definitely, I'm really happy with this tier list. We do have another unit coming in a few weeks. When he comes out, or they announce it, I will make a video breaking down the new unit when they announce it. So yeah, Hopefully you guys enjoyed this tier list. If you did, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and let me know your thoughts on the tier list down below. If there's any changes you'd make, who would you move to what position and why? Leave your reasons in the comment below, and also let me know other Tokyo Ghoul videos you want me to make. But yeah, take care and peace, guys.
This is Escanor, the Lion Sin of Pride from 7 Deadly Sins. Thank you for watching the pinnacle of Gacha gaming on YouTube, The One.